Dun, 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 dun. Good morning, fellow compatriots in the Porsche 928 community. A few months ago, somebody asked me online somewhere about the dimensions, feasibility study, sizing, I guess, of the dolly, roll-around dolly that the 928 body, my 928 body was on. And I said I just used the jacking points to establish the dimensions of the dolly. Now, when I made this dolly, I made it as small as possible to facilitate an easy roll-around stuff. All my dollies I build, I steer from the rear. Get behind a car object and I push and pull, steer it into position. It's much easier for me to move stuff around steering from the rear. I just like that better. The only thing I didn't do that on was this. This one I made it four-wheel steering, which is kind of a pain to move around, but it really needs to be four-wheel steering to move it an inch or two here and there, front and back, side to side, to take it out and then put it back in, which I'm fixing to do right now. But to the person or persons that asked about the dolly, here it is. Let me come back to you with the dimensions from the front to rear. I forgot to put those on it. So you can just see right here from the white post to the white post is 100 at center mass, white post and the stud in the middle. Center mass to center mass is 138 centimeters. For the front, the red post to red post is 132 centimeters. That's center mass, 132. Let me go ahead and get the front to rear, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And from front to rear, 132 centimeters. Right there from the arrow, that beam right there is 132 centimeters. Okay? 132, 138 hinten. Okay? Tschüss! Hope that helps. Remember, my dollies always steer from the rear. It just helps, to do it that way. So, anyways, there you go. Hope it works. Tschüss! Bye-bye. Okay, let me come back to you just to kind of share what is driving this Porsche activity right now. This car right here, long story short, well, I don't need to recap too much, but this car has some issues that I don't want to, how do I say this? I don't want to be chasing multiple small issues because that really takes a lot of time. It takes a tremendous amount of time to do that. There's a couple significant leaks somewhere down in here that are still fresh. Things are still wet underneath there. So, given the torque tube needs to be rebuilt, and given how underneath this vehicle, this 944S, is just completely filthy, rusty, gross looking, oil everywhere, I decided that this car needs a body off. And I did some dimensional analysis of the hard points on this car that I'm going to utilize for a dolly, and this one is very close. So I'll keep the rear mounts, struts that are holding the transaxle on the 928 in place, and I will move these back about 4 inches, and that will fit for the front of the 944 cross member. Or I might just cut these off and make new ones and then reinstall these for the motor. If I do the motor on this, put it in. I probably won't use this for the motor, because I'm going to put the motor in this car like I took the motor out of Steve's 928 right there. Okay, so that is going in from the bottom. So I'm probably going to do it that way on this car, the red car, but this is all driving it, because this car I don't want to chase my tail on multiple little things, because it's going to take way too much time. And most people out there, I do realize that most people out there would never do this. They would never undertake taking a body off the car. But doing the body off the car, if you choose to do that, can get this super clean. Now, this has been sitting around for a couple years, so it got a little dust and stuff on it. These axles on that car, the 944, they're going to look like this. Everything will look like this on that car. And the body, that body, I will incorporate onto this roll-around stand. So as this one comes together, this one comes apart. And yesterday I did some analysis on the wheel sizes, and D90s from a 964 are the same identical dimensions, offset, wheel diameter, as the phone dials that came stock on a 944S. So, and how there's a pretty nice chunk damage on one of these front wheels, I'm going to go ahead and completely refinish these wheels this weekend. So everything always has, everything I'm doing here and everything you do, you have an objective, you have a task, you need it done, and you have to backwards plan and figure out what needs to be done before you can get the main thing done. It's 5 or 6, 7 moves ahead, thinking about how to do this. It's fun, but it takes a bit of thinking, takes a little bit of thought process. You can see that thing right there, that contraption I built. The only thing it needs now is the plywood on top. When that's done, that brown dust collector motor is going on top, and that task is done. Then I just got to plumb it in, plumb the plumbing, plumb the electricity, and that much closer to being fully operational media blaster for full-size cars. Again, taken forever to get to this point, but it is what it is. So that's what's driving this and that and this. So, and of course, ultimately, I want to have open space in here, a lot of room to do work, freely move around, and keep it somewhat clean. And looks like it's happening. So anyways, gotta go. See ya. Cheers.